Hey, it's Chuck Armstrong with Loudwire Nights, and this is Loudwire Nights On Demand. It's been too long since we caught up with Hardy, so it was great to have him back on the show. This conversation aired on Wednesday, September 11th. Let's go. Well, how do you introduce a special guest on this show when he's one of the biggest artists in music today, when he's taken over the worlds of rock and roll and country simultaneously, but also kind of completely uniquely? A guy who's released one of the most anticipated albums of the year, featuring collaborations with guys like Chad Smith and Fred Durst. And I don't even know where to begin to start talking about the gazillions of streams and all those stats that stack up every single day for him. I don't know how you intro him, but maybe that'll just have to do. I'm talking about the one and only Hardy. And I just got to say, man, thank you so much for sharing some time with us tonight, brother.
Thank you, bro. That was great. That was a hell of an introduction. That was awesome.
Right on. I'll just ask a bunch of questions for the intro. Listen, I know you're a rock fan through and through, and a lot of the rock we know and love today is the same rock you grew up with. That really shaped you as an artist, as a frontman, just as a fan. What runs through your head when you take a step back and you soak it in that you've added names like Fred Durst or Chad Smith or last year Caleb Shomo to people you've worked with?
Man, it just seems so surreal still. And I feel like hopefully it'll always feel that way. It's like, I don't know, just especially some of those OG guys that truly are people that shaped my just taste and influenced me. And they're a huge part of how and why I write songs. And it's just surreal, man, to be able to call some of those guys friends and be able to work with them. It's just, I just feel like I'm just happy to be here.
Right on, man. Well, listen, there's an authenticity to that, man, and I hope you never lose that, because I think that's a big part of why you connect with so many fans, is because you're just as excited about it as we all are too.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I hope that I never lose that, just the surreal factor. I enjoy that. It's a fun feeling when you get to meet your heroes and stuff. And anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna keep being happy to be in the room.
Well, let's talk about the surreal factor of a recent onstage collaboration that popped up, seemingly out of nowhere in Nashville when you joined Creed on stage to trade verses with Scott Stapp on Weathered. How was that, man?
It was awesome. I actually was started before we go into a song of mine called 30-06, and I just have an electric guitar, and I usually just will make up something on the spot, like play an old like 2000s rock song or something. And one night I did Creed and it really stuck. And so I started doing that every night during the set. And then one day, I believe Scott himself, like his account, he liked replied and he was like, "That's awesome," or something like that. And so we got in touch with each other, and then next thing I know, I actually hit him up. I was like, "Dude, I'm coming to your show." I wasn't, I didn't want to say I wasn't going to ask to sing a song or anything. I said, "Hey, I'm going to come to the show. Would love to say hello." And he asked me if I wanted to hop up and do a song, and I just said, "Send me the set list," and did. And it's like one of those things. Like, I could have easily done My Sacrifice or Higher or One Last Breath, but I didn't want to feel like I was overstepping. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. Because I'm such a huge fan. I know all their songs already. And I was like, so I picked something that was not as big of a hit, but again, a song I love. So yeah, I did Weathered with them, and it was really cool.
No, I thought that was awesome, and I love hearing that, because when I saw that, I kind of figured you would do Higher or My Own Prison or something like that. And the fact that you chose Weathered, that was a good pick, man. The real fans get it, man. The real fans get
it. For sure.
So you've got some distance between when your latest album, Quit, came out and where you're at today. How are you feeling, man? How are you feeling with that album out?
I feel good. It's funny. It's very polarizing. And my real fans, like my true fans, they get it and they have my back. But there are a lot of, I've noticed now, fair weather fans that are come back to country with a frown face, and people that it's just I guess you would say it's a little more shocking or a little more abrasive than what they're used to hearing. But I'm just doing my thing, man. And if you like it, great. And if you don't, then, whatever. But I feel great about it. I'm really proud of those, 13, 14 songs. And I love every single one of them, man. And I'm just really proud of that project. And it's done really well. So I'm excited to see just kind of how that continues and what little surprises and things can come from that album.
The last time we had you on the show, Mockingbird and the Crow was probably 7 months old, 8 months old. And you had already talked about, oh yeah, I've got a ton of songs written. I'm ready to go with this next album. So with Quit out now, are you kind of in the same place where you're like, oh man, I'm already working on what's next?
Yeah, I am currently working on my next record, which I can't get into too much,
Yeah,
but
I know.
it's I'm working on that, and I already have a concept and an idea for the record after that. So my wheels they're constantly turning.
And I'm not saying that you're intentionally shocking or just trying to do things to be abrasive or anything like that. But as these things are taking shape in your head or on paper, like, do you kind of get a sense of, oh, this might be a little surprising to fans?
I think so. I never think of it as like, man, this is really going to freak them out or whatever. But I definitely, when I write, like, I think a lot in the headspace of like, how well will this go over live, and how are people going to react to this live? And so, yeah, I mean, songs like Jim Bob and even back to like Sold Out, which was really the first like scream song I was trying to pull off. There's a little bit just a small bit of like, I hope they, I hope they dig this, but I've also it's been such a gradual, like dipping my toes in the water. Like my first like heavyish song I ever did was called Boots. And that just went over so well live. And I felt like the fans really gravitated towards that. So then like the next was like Sold Out, and that did really well. And then it was Jack. And so it just, it's not like I just went from a straight up country artist to like the heaviest shit I've ever done. I definitely, kind of eased into it before. So that helps.
Well, that's why you said like the fans who have been around a while, they get it, right?
Yes, totally. It's all under the same umbrella of just me, but the people that don't necessarily understand it are just like radio fans, the fans of people that just like one beer and wait in the truck can find it a little more abrasive.
It's interesting too to hear you say that, like how you keep the live experience in mind. Because the first time I heard Rockstar, that's what I thought of. I'm like, I can just see a wave of 10, 20,000 people all singing this, just screaming their heads off to this.
Yeah, and it's really fun. We play it really early in the set too, and it's a good. It's the second song in our set, and the first song is Quit. So Quit is just kind of like a. That's like almost like the hype song, you know what I mean? And Rockstar is like the real first song of the set. And we definitely just go right into it. And it's fun to see people's reactions and to have fun right off the bat.
You talk about shocking. I mean, opening with Quit into Rockstar, that's pretty great, man.
It's my favorite show opener. We opened for Sold Out for years, and that was really hard to beat. But Quit, it's so fun, man. It's just very, very hype. It's different. It's ironically like less. I kind of ease into the adrenaline rush as opposed to Sold Out, which was like just 100 miles an hour right out of the gate. Where it's a little bit different, but it's cool, man. It's I'm gonna miss it when it's gone because it's a fun.
Man. I love that. Listen, last time you were on, we covered a lot of ground, and you had mentioned, and then you've said this a few other places too. Your dream collaboration is Corey Taylor. At that moment, you said you had never met him, but you were just starting to text back and forth with him, and so. I got to ask, is there any movement on this friendship?
No, I haven't. I still haven't met him. We've still texted back and forth. They tour so hard, man. And he also, doesn't live in Nashville. So it's definitely like, it's hard to be in the same room with some of these people, man. But I know Slipknot still tours like crazy and he just tours alone, but not yet. But I need to hit him. I haven't talked to him in a while. But I definitely am keeping that one in mind for something in the future.
Right on, man. I love tossing stuff out to the rock gods too, so we can just manifest it,
Please.
Well, at this point, just talking about all this, it seems like you've done so much. Like you're just on top of the world. I got to ask, when you were starting out as a songwriter in Nashville, and then you released your debut EP, I mean, what were you hoping you'd be able to pull off as an artist?
Dude, I have no idea. My journey as an artist was so like accidental that I was excited that like I had this record deal offer, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. Like all my friends are signing deals, and then their life is kind of over for a long time. Like they're gone, they're busy. I'm friends with a bunch of rednecks, and we all hunt and fish and spend a lot of time outside and do all that stuff. So I was a little reluctant, and so I don't know everything. When I signed it, I was like, I don't know. I guess we'll see where this goes. I really didn't have like big stars in my eyes, and And I've just been happy that every year, it really has been like every year or year and a half, there's like a level that we kind of hit where it's like a new level of awesome and fun and new again and fresh. And I'm just happy to have those moments, man. I know that people that are extremely talented work really hard for a long time to get to a spot where, I guess you would say I am. And so again, I'm just happy to be doing well. I didn't really have any plans, but I think that helps me too, because with the setbacks and maybe some of the failures here and there didn't hit me quite as hard, because this is all just sort of, I don't know. I just feel like I fell into this a little bit, but in the best way.
Yeah. Well, I love that, man. And certainly not for lack of hard work or anything like that, man. You didn't just fall into it, but I appreciate the posture here, man.
I appreciate it. I definitely, I feel like the hundreds and hundreds of songs that I wrote since like 2012 or 13, maybe, that I didn't know it at the time, but I was learning how to write songs for myself, and just building a big creative snowball that's kind of rolling down a mountain. That's how I would like to look at it. But so I mean, I know a lot of work went into it, and I definitely going on the road and seeing, like, I was out on the road with Florida Georgia Line for like an entire year, writing songs with them, but watching them perform. And so I got to see a lot of live shows and learn about the flow of a good show and a bad show, and all of that. And I feel like that experience was helping me as an artist before I really knew that I was an artist, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, man. I love that. And, I'm curious, and maybe just, given everything you've said, maybe you're not even thinking this way, but is there like something out there that you still want to achieve? And I'm not saying like what's next, like, oh, you're working on a new album or anything like that, but, like a collaboration with Corey Taylor, jumping on stage with Scott Stapp, getting this award, playing this city, doing this tour, whatever that is. Like, do you have something in mind right now? Like, man, that's that next level, or that's that next thing.
I don't know. There's some venues I would like to play, Madison Square Garden. I don't know. I think, to be honest, like maybe like if I could get in some sort of Hall of Fame, whether it's a songwriter thing or country or something one day, that would be really cool. That's right
all
I got.
Man, I love that. No, I love that, man. That's great, man. And I imagine, I don't know, probably like the new, the next album or the album after that. I know you can't share a whole lot, but I have to imagine we're due for another massive tour coming up at some point, maybe 2025, but your tour schedule's kind of winding down for this year, man.
Yeah. I only have like 6 shows left for the year, which I'm excited about, but, there will be new music with a tour following the new music next year, probably in the spring and summer. So,
all right. I won't hold you to it, man, but I'll take it. I appreciate it. Hardy, thank you so much for hanging, man. Congrats on just all this success. Congrats on all that's happened this year, all that's to come. Fans can stay caught up on everything in your world at hardyofficial.com. Listen, I know it's basically been a year since we last spoke, so let's do it again a little sooner next time. And you're welcome back anytime, brother. All right.
Thank you so much, man. I enjoyed it.
That wraps up this episode of Loudwire Nights on Demand. Stay caught up with everything happening in the world of rock and metal on the Loudwire app and at loudwire.com.